Good morning, and welcome to There Ain't Gonna Be a Sunrise This Morning, Winnipeg. Now, I realized after I did the final edit and uploaded everything yesterday onto YouTube that I forgot to put in the sunrise. I talked about it, and I think I said something to the effect of it's still in the computer and I hadn't really seen it yet. Well, that was true. But I did see it later, and I thought, it's not bad. But then I forgot to put it in. So I'm going to put it in this morning. And what I'm going to do is, right now I've got 10 minutes of yesterday's and 10 minutes of this morning's, exactly running to the second of being at the same time. I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I'm not going to run all 10 minutes. I'm going to speed it up. I don't know how much I'm going to speed it up yet, because I like to see when I do this opening scene, how much room do I have to put other crazy stuff in, like sunrises. Okay, so anyway, enough about that. Now, today is USS Texas Coffee Cup Day. Yeah, and the USS Texas has been in the news lately, and people have been sending me, URLs to watch it being put in a dry dock and all the rest of it. It's kind of interesting stuff, and yeah, it's kind of nice that they're preserving some of these old ships. I was going to say it would be really nice if they had preserved the Rodney, but back then they were more interested in melting stuff down and reclaiming the steel. Well, you can understand that. It must cost a tremendous amount of money to keep one of these ships from rusting away and settling to the bottom. Now, my personal opinion is that these ships should be pulled out. Well, I guess it'd be pretty hard to pull one of them out, but they should be, pulled out onto the land, raised up on like little pedestals sort of thing, like when they were built. And then you can see the whole thing. You could walk around it, and it would be up in the air. But you wouldn't need to worry about it leaking. But that's just my opinion. There's probably 1,000 good reasons why that idea is no good. Anyway, we do not have a rollback. No, I did not come back to the model table yesterday. What happened was I got fooling around with that security camera system, and I was trying to get it to be able to recognize my Wi-Fi that's here in the house. And I kept trying, and it just wasn't working. And then I realized I was entering in an old password. Well, once I got the password corrected, well, then it was able to talk to each other. But I still haven't figured out what app to use on that system. Now, Jeff was mentioning it's the same system as what he's got. So maybe, Jeff, if you're listening, what app did you use if you bothered to put on it like a remote computer, so that I can see it, or so that my neighbor can actually see it when he goes on holidays on his cell phone? What app did you use, if you used one? Anyway, enough about that. Let's just sort of get right into this. There's not a rollback, so I can't say let's roll back. Let me move this before I spill it. You can't see the cup now, though, can you? That's not good. Is that better? Okay. Okay, now, we were talking yesterday about needing life rafts. It turns out I did not get the life rafts. They want G13. Well, this is all the G sprues. There's 6 of them. And there's 2 13s on each one, so there's a dozen of these things. So I'm going to probably be spending a while nipping them off and painting them. I think I'm probably going to. I don't think I'll paint them yellow like the outside, even though it did look really nice. I think I painted the ones on the hood yellow, but these ones I'm not going to do that. Anyway, enough. Let's recompose here. Oh, another thing I had to do. I had to make a list of the coffee cups because I was forgetting what coffee cup is next. And yesterday I couldn't remember. So now we know what coffee cup is next. Okay, so the next one right now we've got Texas. Oh, tomorrow is Rodney Day. So if it's not the Rodney cup, you'll know that I'm about ready to pack things in here. Okay, let's recompose and see if we can get some of these 13s. Now, I was thinking here that maybe what I should be doing is getting this number 14 at the same time. And the reason being is I don't know if we're going to need it or if it was an extra one. It's possible we only needed 5 of these. This is the 6th one. The other 14s are all gone off of the other sprues. But it probably is very easy for me at this point, to paint it along with the other dozen. It'll only probably take a total of a minute longer, and then if we do need it towards the end of the build, well, we've got it. Anyway, that's my thinking right now. Okay, we got them all cleaned up here now, ready for painting. Now, I just know that Aussie Frenchman is getting all ready to peck into his keyboard. I see flashing. That's not flashing. That's where there's a rope running around the outside edge of the life raft. And it's something for the drowning sailor to grasp onto. That is not flashing. That's supposed to be there. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, right now, I can do one of two things. I can either drag my spray booth up onto the table here and hook up the air hose in the basement and get my spraying stuff all ready to go for the airbrush and become very cranky. Or I can take my time and brush it with a paintbrush and be relaxed and not be cranky. I think I'm going to go with the not be cranky. Okay, here's my thinking on this. All of these life rafts are going to be mounted on the side of the superstructure or the bulkhead, which is painted the lighter 66. So what I'm thinking of doing here is I'm going to paint the outsides of these, like the inflatable. Oh my goodness, that snap you just heard was a fly in my fly zapper. That made me jump, sort of. Anyway, okay, yeah. So I'm going to paint the outside, this darker 77, and I don't know. Should I reshoot this? A fly gets zapped in the zapper. Anyway, it doesn't take much for me to lose my train of thought, does it? Where was I here? So the inside then of this could be the lighter 66 to contrast. So you can see the difference between the outside and the inside. Now that's my thinking on this. At least I was thinking before the fly made an appearance here. Okay, let's just recompose a little bit. In fact, let's put on the macro lens. Okay, one more thing here, and that is that with something like this where I have to paint the inside and it's going to come up against something like this inflatable thing. Actually, I think these things were filled with some sort of foam, weren't they? But maybe not. Maybe they were inflatables. I find that I can paint the deck part. If I paint the deck part last, it's a lot easier to go up to the edge with my brush, and I probably be using a smaller brush when I do the inside. But if I paint the outside first, then the inside, it works better for me. Gee, it sure took me a long time to say that, didn't it? Okay, now this paint is fairly thinned, so it may not work too good here. I might have to do a second coat. I say that a lot, don't I? Then I end up trying to put it on so thick that I don't have to do a second coat. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't think so. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a smart thing. You know, as long as you're going to preserve the detail, and I do believe we're going to preserve detail here. And nothing like, I realize it's nothing like if we were to use an airbrush. But I just want to make sure I've got it underneath there. I don't think the underside is going to really show too much because it's going to be up against a bulkhead. So, okay. Yeah, that might be a little bit thin right there. I'll see if I want to give these a second coat or not. Okay. All right, let's play some music. Okay, that was the last one. Now I'll just see how these look after they're dry. Okay, paintbrush is all cleaned up. 13 little life rafts all painted. In the kitchen there's a very unhappy fly. It's just had a very shocking experience, you might say. It's funny with that fly zapper. It doesn't matter if it's a teeny weeny little fly that you can hardly see, like a little fruit fly or something like that, or if it's a big house fly. It zaps just as noisily. So I don't know what it was I got there. I actually couldn't find anything except little tiny dead flies, and they might have been from before. I usually get 3 or 4 a day, something like that. Sometimes more. It's just at this time of year, that is. And this morning I vacuumed up a cricket. Yeah, I hear this cricket when I got up this morning. And it wasn't very long, maybe about an hour later, I see him crawling across the floor. So I grabbed my dust buster, and that's where he is right now. Yeah, no, Canada is not plagued with insects. No, don't worry about that. I must have a hole in my house though. Yeah. Okay. I think that we're gonna just let these completely dry, and then we'll take a close look at them and see how well the paint shrunk wrapped around all the detail. And once again, is it as good as an airbrush? No, it's not. But it's better for me. Notice how uncranky I am? Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.